Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the secret as to how I was able to create $500+ a day in Adsense money with my blogs, my niche site blogs. Now, before we begin, you guys know my whole mantra is creating niche sites. And for people that have just started watching my videos, who got some interest, I'm here to share some information about how you can do the same thing, right? So the way it works is very, very simple. And I've made videos about this in the past, but let's face it, majority of people are not going to go back into my older videos and watch, so I'll go ahead and explain. I've been doing quote-unquote business. I really don't want to call it business, but we'll just call it online hustling, making money online, creating blogs, creating websites, whatever you want to call it, for about 8 years now. And it all started when I was in college, my very first year in college. I'm going to make this a very, very long story. I'm going to make it very short. And basically, I created a clothing business, ordering products overseas from India and Pakistan. And then I would bring them here to the US. I would make some changes to the clothing, different changes in color and material and stitching and logos, things like that. And then I would sell them. I would sell them here in the US. Eventually, I sold that business and been working on different passive income side businesses ever since, okay? And when I first started, one of these side businesses that I started was creating blogs. And the thing that opened up to my idea to creating a blog, which I've created a couple on this YouTube channel already, for example, howtoboosttestosterone.org. We could actually visit it right now. Howtoboosttestosterone.org is one of the blogs. The way that I create these is very simple. I just create some articles, right? The same way you guys do. There's nothing I'm saying that's insane. But how did I actually get to the point where I'm making $500, $400 a day in passive income through these blogs? So I want you to understand what's passive income today was never passive income a long time ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever. And the passive income that I'll make in the future is active work today, right? So the main concept is I'm building myself over time. I'm making a lot more money by building myself, and I have a collection of over 40 plus blogs that generate me income, and some of those blogs will eventually be on the market and be sold, and some of them I'll keep. Now, I want you to pay attention to the most important thing within all these blogs that I mentioned, within all the different websites that I own and all things like that, is AdSense is the bare minimum. It's the very lowest form of income. Right? That's what I want you to understand. And AdSense has never been my goal. It's never been the thing that I depend on. It's never been the thing that I focus on. It's never been the thing that I choose to make my priority. AdSense is just simply something that I put on my website and then I optimize for in my blog post, which I actually made a video on this, not last video, but the video before, where I explain the different, the best niches for AdSense, how I go about that, and then how I actually apply these ads in the blogs in my video after that, my next video, which you guys really liked. With that being said, when I'm focusing on making money through a blog, AdSense is never my focus. It is basically the last on the line. But how do I make this money? It comes down to traffic and specificity. Now, traffic is something that I can somewhat control. I can't always control traffic, and you guys can probably agree with me. If I wanted to snap my fingers right here, right now, and all of a sudden generate an extra 1 million visitors to my site, I can't just do that organically. It's not something I could just make happen. But what I can do is I can write certain blog posts that can generate me traffic. We agree with that. But that takes time, money, and effort. If I'm going to hire virtual assistants to do it, that takes money. If I'm going to do it myself, it takes time. If I'm going to hire a virtual assistant to do it, it's still going to take time and effort and all these things. So what's really been the key is the amalgamation of content over a period of many, many, many years, but also specificity. And this is the thing that makes up for the lost cost, the lost time. And honestly, the specificity in traffic has helped me dramatically, and I'll explain. If I create a fitness blog, right, about general things, I'm going to be just like every single person who's ever started a blog. General content that everybody else has seen. What people really look for is very, very specific content, and that's how I get my readers to come back more than once. Think about it this way. If you're struggling with making money on AdSense right now, and that's actually your goal, and that's the thing you want to do, right? You want to make money on AdSense because it's safer, it's easier to do, whatever the case may be. If that's your goal, you would need your reader to read more than one article. That just makes sense logically, right? And so if you're going to do that, then it would be in your best interest to not create general content. It would be very, very specific content on very specific things. I'll give you an example. Let's say I have a fitness website that wants to talk about steroids or some sort of performance enhancement. I could be extremely specific and talk about a sector of that, like ectosteroids. So this is what an ectosteroid is. Oh, well, there's many kinds, but ectosteroids are a type of steroid found in insects, water animals, and even some plants. That's what an ectosteroid is. And so if I want to be an authority in Google's eyes and get paid as the authority, I need to contribute as an authority. And all my blogs, every single blog post has to contain authority type content that you won't find somewhere else. This is why, and I'll just go ahead and shout out my website here, cashcownichesites.com. In my monetization guide, my little ebook here about monetization, I created an ebook, guys, where I specifically told you guys how to monetize. And one of the things I mentioned was the very least important thing is the AdSense. The most important thing is the products that I'm going to be selling, right? And I have to figure out what products can I sell. If I'm writing a blog on content that is very, very specific, what happens? Well, naturally, my traffic is less than normal, of course, right? If somebody's writing content on just general steroids, and I'm writing articles on very specific ectosteroids, there's a smaller pool or a smaller audience. That's fair. So let's go ahead and whip out the whiteboard here. There's a smaller audience. Let's just say this is the fitness space. And within the fitness space, we have the steroid space. And then within the steroid space, we have an even smaller market for the ectosteroid space, right? Which is what I'll do, for example, as an article. And I'll just write ECDY here to represent ectosteroids. If I'm going to do this, right, what I'm telling Google is I'm going to create articles only on this topic, nothing else. Now, how does this actually benefit me? Well, there are a list of advertisers. There's always people willing to sell products. And it just so happens that my website highly focuses on this, specializes, if you will. It's a specialist type site. And any kind of website that's a specialist type site gets paid more. Just like even if you go to a doctor, right? If you have a problem, a very serious problem, you're going to visit a specialist. And guess what? That specialist doesn't do work for free. They get paid more because they're specializing in a certain entity. And because you're specializing, what happens? Your consumer base, right, has higher interest level. Interest is very important. And what interest does for you is not only if you're going to sell products, you make more money, but what else does it do? It makes them read more articles. And every single reader is worth money. And if I can take each reader and multiply the amount of articles they read, well, guess what? I make more and more and more money. So I don't need all the traffic in the world. I just need a select group of people that are highly, highly, highly interested in what I have to offer, and then they could read 5, 10, 20 of my articles, and that will be worth another 20 visitors. So let me put things into consideration for you guys, right? I have a blog that is a treadmill blog, right? I promote different types of treadmills on this blog. I write reviews on them. And this blog is by far my most successful blog, by far. One of the reasons is because the commissions is higher and I sell products through affiliates, right? Affiliate links. And the thing is that people who come to this site, they have very specific needs on certain kind of treadmills. I'll give you an example. There was somebody who emailed me who's a reader from that blog and asked for his specific gym, what treadmill should he get, right? And from there, I was able to cash in because he bought over 12 different treadmills. He also bought like a few bikes, but that's not the point. The point is he bought 12 plus different treadmills. And when I got my commission, it was much higher than a typical person. Why? Because I'm selectively choosing who my readers are. Now you might say, you can't choose who your readers are. How can you choose who your readers are? You're just writing articles. Well, that's exactly the point. I get to choose who my readers are because I get to select what my title is. I get to select what the content in my article is. Does that make sense? So based on my title, I'm going to receive certain types of readers. Based on my content, I'm going to receive certain types of readers. And the person who's looking for, let's say, treadmills for their gym is much different than the type of person who's looking to get treadmills or a treadmill for their house or their home gym. Much, much different type of individual. And they have different needs, they have different desires, and they have different problems that you can solve for them. My point with this is that advertisers are really, really good at one thing. They're good at scoping out good traffic, right? They actually hire companies and agencies to find out traffic sites. So let's just say you have a traffic site on this treadmill website, just like I do. They're going to find you, they're going to scope you out, and either they're going to target you for ads, or they're going to simply send you a message and say, hey, we want to buy ad space on your site. Okay? So Adsense, and I want to bring this very, very clear, is the very last thing that's going to make you money with your site. However, if you want to get to the point where you're making hundreds of dollars a day through Adsense, the first thing you need is you need plethora. You need a lot. You're not going to just have 1 or 2 websites or 3 websites. You're going to need a lot. If you do end up having only 1 or 2 or 3 websites, you're probably not going to watch this channel because this is all about niche sites. And with niche sites, you're going to generate less traffic anyway. So the fact is, if you're going to have 1 or 2 sites, you're probably not going to be a niche site. You're just going to probably be a generalized site on any generalized topic. For example, men's health. Men's health is a perfect example of a generalized site. They bring in millions of traffic a day, millions of visitors a day, but they're not specific. They're not niche. And when you are niche, right, a reader doesn't come for just one article. They'll come for 20, 30 articles that they're reading because they want to dive deep into a topic. They're going to save your website in their browser. They're going to sign up for your newsletter. They're going to buy your recommended products, etc. So when you're niche, when you're very, very specific, and hence the name niche sites, cash cow niche sites, when you're very specific around a certain topic, that helps you make more money. You understand what I'm saying? So the first thing you need to do is you need to be niche and you need to be specific. Now, once again, if somebody says, why would I be niche? Doesn't that hurt my traffic? The answer is yes. You're going to have less visitors. But when you have less visitors, they're going to make up significantly for the generalized content you're going to put, and you're going to get random visitors. Would you rather have 10,000 visitors who are not, kind of interested in what you have to offer? Or would you rather have 1,000 visitors who are diehard for what you have to offer? The answer is 1,000. 100%, because they're going to be 10 times more valuable, 100 times more valuable than the other guys are. Does that make sense? The other group. So first thing is you have to be niche. That creates a scope or a foundation for advertisers to locate your site. Okay? The only reason I know about advertisers is because I am an advertiser in my clothing businesses, in my physical product businesses, right? Even in some of my digital product businesses, I am an advertiser. I have a blog on mental health. I've spoken about this blog multiple times. I have a blog on mental health. I'm giving you guys the specific niche, the general niche. Now, I'm not the specific niche, right? But mental health, right? And I have enough traffic that proves to me I have a good conversion rate. So I actually pay for ads to people come visit the articles so they buy the products, right? So I'm an advertiser and I advertise different things. I even, on my other YouTube channel, have a course teaching people how to run Pinterest ads because it's something that I do. So anyways, the point is that you can scope out certain websites and you can see where good traffic is. Now, when based on the content, the traffic comes. So if the content is generalized and boring, it's not specific, it doesn't solve a very specific need, then the traffic is going to be the exact same, generalized and boring. You're not going to make a lot of money off of that. Then what happens is after the advertiser scopes you out, you're either, like I said, your CPM is going to go up or your offers are going to go up. So people are going to email you. They're going to say, hey, can we buy ad space on your site, etc. After that, you're going to start offering products for sale. You're going to start being affiliate for products. You're going to start doing all these things that allow you to generate more income. So once again, the focus is never generating the money off of AdSense. That's just a byproduct. The main focus is finding the niche that is the most valuable and then reverse engineering. One of the mistakes that a lot of people do, when they first start their blog is they pick the wrong niche. They pick something they're drastically interested or extremely passionate in. And that's fine. I really think that's a good thing if you're passionate about something. The only problem is that you're going to run into a problem where you're not making enough money. And then you're going to quit blogging altogether, and you think that blogging is not a profitable endeavor. It's not profitable if you're talking about something that millions of other people talk about. Then what's the value of that? There's really no value. For example, if I create a website on recipes, I actually have a blog on recipes, different recipes, and it doesn't make nearly as much money as my other blogs do, but it gets some traffic. It gets some good traffic. But it doesn't make nearly as much, like I said, nearly as much as my other websites do. In fact, it's one of the websites that I'm actually putting up for sale because it's not something that is crazy profitable to me, and I'd much rather just get it out of the way. I don't have to maintain it, don't have to worry about it, and just get it out of my face, right? So my point is if you're doing something that everybody else can do, you're not going to get paid, in the higher upper echelons of the standard deviation. I mean, it's not going to happen. But if you're creating content that not many people do, but small people amounts are looking for this content, you're going to win. I mean, there's no question. So let's just use this ecti steroid content as an example. If I conquer every angle of this niche, I'm going to make a lot of money. And I'm going to make a lot of money, not just from AdSense, but I'm going to make a lot of money off a few traffic visitors. And that's my whole point about this, is that a lot of people in the blogging space think that you have to generate hundreds of thousands of clicks to make money with a blog. You absolutely do not. Every traffic visitor you get has to somehow make you money. At the very bare minimum, if they don't buy any product, if they don't click on any link, if they don't do anything, they at least make you money off of the ads. And the ads are going to be higher CPM than normal. Why? Much higher, not even higher, but just much higher, simply because you're very specific about a very certain topic. Okay? And so there's a lot of ways around it, but I want to share with you a quick little thing that I discovered when I was first getting into this. 8 years ago, when I was doing my print-on-demand stuff, not print-on-demand stuff, when I was doing my blogging stuff and I was just first starting, there were these YouTubers, and I don't want to say their name, but man, they have a product called Project 24. If you know about it, you probably know about it, but it is what it is. And they were teaching people how to create these blogs. And one of the things that they always recommended is get your affiliate deals, get your products going, do your good reviews, do all these things, which is great. It's phenomenal. I have nothing against them, right? No negative comments here. But what I noticed was a lot of their clients, it took them a year or two to get a whole lot of traffic. And from their whole lot of traffic, we're talking thousands upon thousands upon thousands of visitors, they were barely able to live, take care of their bills. We're talking like $3, $4, $5 a month, barely able to do it. And then here I am with my small sites that are not generating even a fraction of what these big dogs are bringing in. And I'm making 4 or 5 times what they're making financially. And it comes down to this, right? Getting a lot of traffic on your blog, but making a little bit of money is like running on a treadmill all day long and then just eating like 15 dozens of donuts right after. It's almost like doing all the work, but getting none of the benefit. And for me personally, what makes blogging super easy for me, and like I said, this is how I pay my bills. It's the thing that, drives me every day, is I find, niches, I was going to say niches that are extremely open, right? Where there's not much competition, but it's extremely specific, and there is a demand for it. And like I said, I've shown how to do these things, whether it be some of my videos that I showed in the past. You can go look through them. We have, 138 videos now. That's a lot of videos. Or you could, take a look at my website. If you need help with the monetization, you need help writing certain content, it's all there. You can go ahead and check it out. But I've been talking about this for a long time, and I figured I'd put this out there because every single one of you can make a full-time income through a blog. It's just a matter of learning how to play the game. And for me personally, the game for me is going for those smaller blogs, going for the small topics that don't bring in a lot of traffic, but bring in a whole lot more money for the traffic. And I'm able to do it that way. And by the way, I rank a lot faster. Some people can sit there for 2.5 years, 3 years, buying backlinks, doing all kinds of outreach, writing all kinds of content, and never get anywhere with their traffic. That's not my game. I don't like to do that. Some people do. Some people like to do that. I personally don't. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and I wish you guys the best. All right? I'll see you soon. Peace out. Bye.